Welcome to the Root Cause Revolution podcast with functional and integrative nurse nutritionist and energy medicine practitioner, Audrey Christie.
Hey friends, welcome to episode 261 of the Root Cause Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Audrey, and today we're talking about how to create a stress-free environment in your home, how to make it your space, your sanctuary, if you will, because that should be the place that you go to unwind. We know that stress is a root cause in so many issues and so many symptoms. So let's talk about one simple way. Well, really, we're talking about 7 simple ways that you can create more of a stress-free environment, more of a sanctuary in your home. Because as the saying goes, home is where the heart is. But that doesn't mean that your home environment isn't causing you a load of stress. Welcome. If this is your first time listening, I am Audrey. I am a root cause clinician, and I help you to stop masking symptoms and start healing for good. I specialize in helping you start your own root cause revolution to rebalance your body. So if you are done with Band-Aids and ready for real solutions, you are in the right place. All right. A lot of times we're talking about things that are going on in our bodies, but sometimes it's the things that are going on outside of our bodies that come from outside that can cause us to have those physical and energetic symptoms. So, your home should be a sanctuary, or at least you should have a space in your home where you feel at peace. There are lots of things that can add some tension in your home. So it's really important, if you don't feel at peace, to look within your walls and see what is adding unnecessary stress on your life and take control of it. It's super easy to do. If you have a few minutes every day, you can make your home as stress-free as possible. So here's some ideas. Number 1, make a happy place. Now, your home doesn't have to be need to be big to have an area of happiness. It just needs to have space for you. So if you have a whole room you can use, great. If not, create a cozy nook that you can read or unwind, kind of your own space to decompress, your own space to meditate. Now, if you have been around for a while, you know that I used to have my entire own space for this. And then we moved to a farm a couple years ago, almost 2 years ago, actually, almost 2 years exactly. And now our new home is being built where I'll have a space again. But right now, the 4 of us are living in a relatively small space. And I don't have my own space or room to create my own little sanctuary. So I got creative. I have a meditation space in our laundry nook of all places. Now, the laundry nook is quiet when I meditate because I meditate first thing in the morning and then mid-afternoon, early evening. So typically the laundry machines aren't going then, but I have shelves above my washer and dryer where I have my meditation cushion. And then I have a little basket that has all the things that I like to use when I meditate. Sometimes I do red light therapy while I meditate, or I might use crystals or a particular oil. And so I kind of keep all of those little knickknacks in that basket, like my little go-to basket. So you don't have to have a big space. You don't have to have a whole room or even make your whole house. You just have to make your own little sacred space, your own little happy place. Now, number 2, to keep your home environment as stress-free as possible is to make your bed. Always make your bed. It might seem silly, right? Because you're just going to mess it up later. And believe me, I've probably used that excuse more times than not in my life, but probably for the last 20 to 25 years, I've made my bed every morning. And so even if everything else in your life is chaos, coming home to your bedroom after a long day or walking into your bedroom after a long day and seeing a nicely made bed, it leaves you feeling more put together than not. It is an instant stress reliever, and it gives you a small sense of accomplishment first thing in the morning. So always, always, always make your bed. And it really only takes a minute or 2 to do. There's tons more benefits other than stress that I could list out here. And maybe we'll do an entire episode on reasons to make your bed. But let's just start with the stress. Now, the third thing you can do is let in natural light. So we know that natural light has a big impact on our bodies. It's important for sleep regulation, for stress regulation, for proper function of our immune system. It's really important to get natural sunlight in your eyes and on your body. It can also be important to improve the mood, right? Dark rooms can make us more brooding. So if you can, let all those windows open up and have more light in your house. You don't have to open up and let the air in, although I do recommend doing that once a day, but let in the light. And if you have a room that doesn't get too much sunlight, then make sure that you have lighter colors, reflective pieces, mirrors, and some other natural lighting type lamps and light bulbs to make it more open instead of more constricting. My fourth tip is to cut the clutter. If you have stuff everywhere, and trust me, I get it. We downsized from almost 4,000 square feet to around a little bit over 1,000 square feet while we're building the new house. So I understand clutter, right? If you have stuff oozing out of every corner, either gather it up and find a place to put it. We store a lot in a shop, or get rid of it altogether, which is other things that we've been doing. You can hold a garage sale if that's floats your boat, or donate the things that you don't use anymore. It is very, very liberating and cleansing for the soul to remove material things that you just don't need. A few years back, I ran a challenge where we did a trash bag a day. We got rid of a trash bag worth of stuff, whether it was trash or donation or something else. And we cleared the clutter one trash bag every single day for 30 days. And you wouldn't believe, you would think looking at your house that you don't have 30 trash bags worth of stuff to get rid of, but I assure you, you do. You have 30 trash bags of stuff. If you've lived there any amount of time, you have 30 trash bags of stuff that you could just get rid of and give away immediately. Number 5 is something we've talked about so many times before, but create a bedtime ritual. A lot of times we think of bedtime rituals as just for kids, but we know that adults need them as well. So having a nightly routine that in part ties up some loose ends, but also is calming and relaxing and includes getting rid of the handheld screens an hour or two before bed, can be really, really beneficial. It signals to your body that bedtime is coming, that it's time to start winding down, and it's time to prepare for sleep. And this can be really critical for fixing those sleep issues, which, as we know, are some of the first steps in healing the body and creating permanent wellness. Number 6, adding more plants. So having indoor plants is good for your mood. It's good for your health because indoor plants help to purify your air. Plus, they're just fun to look at and they add some fresh color, right? If you have a brown thumb, I encourage you to get a snake plant. It's particularly good at filtering air because it's got the big broad leaves. You really don't ever have to water it, maybe about once every 10 to 20 days. They're very, very low maintenance. And so they thrive with very little care, very little light. I'm really great at growing food, but for some reason my indoor plants tend to suffer. So around my house, you'll find a lot of snake plants and a lot of aloe plants because for whatever reason, I don't kill those. So add them. It's even good if you suspect that you have something like mold in your walls or in your ceiling. You should absolutely get that remediated or have it tested. And there's some simple test kits that you can order online that will test the mold in your environment. But a snake plant in those rooms, or several snake plants in those rooms, can actually help to mitigate some of that toxins by purifying your air. Now, the very last tip is to time your tasks, right? I always tell people that you make time for what you want, right? You make time for what you want. People say, well, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. But I did watch the entire season of whatever on Netflix in the last week, right? So you have to make time for what you want. You have to make time to mitigate your stress. You have to make time to do those things that you don't want to do, like folding a mountain of laundry. So my recommendation to you is whether you like it and love it and you could get lost doing it forever, or whether it's something that you hate and you just want to put off, time your tasks. You would be shocked the amount that you can get done in 15 minutes. I do something called zone cleaning. I got it from a gal called the Secret Slob, where and I think originally maybe she got it from the Fly Lady method. I don't know. I really like the way the Secret Slob gal has put this together. And so you do zone cleaning. And so the zone for this week is the bedrooms. So 15 minutes, 4 days this week, I will spend doing stuff like dusting the sills and the fans and straightening things and purging things and cleaning furniture and mopping and sweeping and doing the baseboards and all of those things, right? If I didn't set a timer, I would put that off and it would never, ever, ever get done, right? You might not get it all finished, but you make a big dent in it and it helps you to feel so much less stressed. Because believe me, it is a lot better to spend my 15 minutes 4 days a week doing something like that than it is when I have company coming to stay with us or to visit for dinner or whatever, and scramble and be like, oh my God, nobody turn off the ceiling fan because it's so dusty, right? So these are things that you can, using a timer to time your task can really help you to feel a lot less stressed because you're actually getting things done. So when you take the stress out of your home life, you'll find it much easier to begin to mitigate your stress in other areas. So try these 7 tips. Let me know how it goes. That's all I have for you today. As always, I am rooting for you, friends, and I will see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Root Cause Revolution podcast. Be sure and subscribe on your favorite podcast provider. Ratings and reviews are always appreciated.